Welcome back to another very special episode of The Gentleman Show, joined as always by The Gentleman,
Curtis Nash,
Josh Grimmer,
and I am Darren Warren, and as you can see from behind us,
horror!
because Halloween is coming up, so we figured we would, do our top 3 horror movies?
Favorite horror movies, and then maybe like a Halloween, like something you watch every Halloween, guaranteed that you're going to want to watch every Halloween.
So when we did the Tim Burton one, we did like, you did a list, I did a list. You guys want to do like number 3, number 2, number 1 this time, and maybe see if we have any crossover, or do you want to do it the old school way?
Okay. I don't want to start that because mine aren't in order. I got to take, okay, I know. We're good.
So
We're good.
quick
Want me
to
to start?
deduce. Yeah, let's start with Josh.
All right, let me take a look at
Number
my list
3?
here.
Get my list out.
So number 3.
I don't know why these are secret.
Yeah, don't look at mine.
Sitting 2 feet away from each other.
So number 3, I went with the monster Freddy Krueger. So I went with
I
the
knew that was
series.
going to be on your list.
I went with the series, but
Yeah.
if I had to pick an individual movie, it would be
5. Dream Master.
Dream Warriors.
Freddy
good,
versus
number
Jason.
3,
Freddy versus Jason.
Nightmare on Elm Street, A New Nightmare.
New Nightmare.
Oh, I remember watching that when it first came out. It blew me away. I love Freddy Krueger. He is my favorite, like, scary monster. And me and him go way back. I remember Dad sitting me down, watch these, son.
Got me a son.
I would have nightmares.
You ruined your child.
Thanks, Dad.
I've now tempered hard steel against horror movies.
now
I
you
can watch
turned out
anything
fine.
and it doesn't scare me.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, Freddy Krueger, like the series for me, but I'm gonna go with A New Nightmare. That will be number 3.
Okay.
All right, well, for my number 3, I don't have such a heartfelt backstory to it like you do, but mine is, it was a mixture of horror and action, but Deliver Us from Evil with Eric Bana.
Oh,
yeah.
that's pretty
Yeah.
recent. That's
Loved
a good
that movie.
Really?
It came out of nowhere for me, and I just loved how it's just you're this badass police officer, and everyone's possessed in this
Frank
city.
Sarchi.
Yeah, and now he's running around like killing demons and working with the
Yeah.
church. I just thought it was like a really cool, different take on the possession stories we've seen so
That's a
many
true
times.
story.
Read the
son.
book? Read the book?
He was.
Yeah, it is.
He went out and he got trained, if you will, by Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who are from the Conjuring movies, if you don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Also, I was going to clarify something. I don't watch horror movies
Yeah,
at
and
all.
for you to
Horror.
choose this movie, that's pretty
Yeah.
frightening stuff. I'm
No.
surprised it made your list.
You're welcome,
Yeah.
world.
I was thinking maybe more animated, scary for you. For
Like Monster House.
Monster. Oh, I forgot Monster. That's a good movie.
I'm not a freaking child. I can watch a horror movie. I just
Horror.
prefer not to. Curtis,
Yeah.
a little nicer to you, maybe. What's your number 3?
My number 3, it's close. I'm gonna put Insidious. Not the series, just part 1.
Is that the one that you?
Yeah.
With Tiny Tim? Ah, the creepiest
That
song in the
movie-
world.
Scared the ever-loving bejesus out of me when it came out. And I still think I'm brave. I've probably seen it about 5 or 6 times. I'll watch, I'm like, if my wife's in the house, it's cool, I'm not scared. But I remember one time she went to visit her family, our dog was gone, I'm like, I'm gonna be brave watching Insidious. Nope.
I'm pretty sure
made it-
I get the text message.
I
I'm like, I
made-
tried watching it, Josh. I can't watch it anymore.
Can you come over?
I'll make it like an hour, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's
Turn
turn
on
on
some
something
comedy.
funny.
Yeah.
Turn on some comedy. It's true. There's something about that movie that just still to this day
Is it
creeps
the
me out.
astral plane aspect of it? We're walking between
No, I don't
worlds.
know.
or-
It's just
when he goes into that house and they all have the grins and they're all frozen.
Not
That
even,
is a
that
creepy
doesn't even.
part.
Do you know what creeps me out more? It's the atmosphere and the music, like the violin. Like it's very Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Like when it got me in the beginning, it's very quiet. Then Insidious, like, dong.
I remember
and
that
the
about that
flames.
movie. Yeah, just the soundtrack. Well, not so much the soundtrack, but the music, like you
Yeah.
said. A good scary movie will have that music that really presses you in those moments. And
That
what
was
gets you,
one of
right?
our first forays into James Wan territory.
Yes.
That's one of his. That's like his breakout horror movie.
Yeah,
is
yeah, it
Insidious.
was.
That's my number 3.
Number 2. All right, so going to Doe's. What do you got there, Gruber?
Number 2, a movie I always like to watch every Halloween, Monster Squad.
Oh!
You know what?
If you say
I
you've
don't
never
think
seen,
I've never. I don't think I've ever
Darren,
seen Monster Squad.
what is going
This is
on?
Shane Black's first movie ever.
Oh my god.
Question: is this the movie where the kid goes under his bed and there's the whole city of monsters and he makes friends with the guy?
Get out!
Okay, definitely not that.
No, that's
Little
Little
Monsters.
Monsters.
Little Monsters.
Yeah.
That could have made my list because that was a pretty scary movie
No,
growing up.
this one, it's like has a Goonies
Oh,
feel
man.
to it.
With
So it's-
monsters.
Yeah, so it's like 4 friends. They go out and they have to. It's Dracula, Mummy, werewolf, And
Creature from the Black
Creature
Lagoon.
from- yeah.
Frankenstein.
So Frankenstein
Never seen
gets
it.
befriended by the little sister
Yeah.
of one of the boys.
Frankenstein really isn't the bad person.
No.
In any movie.
Well, it's Monster.
He's
misunderstood.
Yeah.
His name's Monster. He's not Frankenstein,
Yeah.
right? Come on, guys. But
Frankenstein made him for everybody out
like
there.
a
who's are
classic line
bitching
is,
at
you
it.
know, they kick
Wolfman,
Wolfman in the nards.
And he's like, and they're like,
Wolfman
kick him in the
has
nards. Like,
nards.
Wolfman doesn't have any nards.
I've
Kick him
heard
in the
that
nards.
quote.
And he
Maybe I
kicks him
saw
in
the
the nards.
movie back
Yeah.
in yesteryear when I was a younger
Exactly.
lad.
This,
perhaps,
I remember,
but-
I watched this at my older cousin's sleepover, and it scared the bejeebus out of me again. Because I was
Yeah.
only like 5 or 6.
Yeah. And it's monsters,
Fantastic
right? But yeah,
movie.
no, that's one that you have to go back to regularly every Halloween for sure.
No, I'll just have to watch it for the first time then, I guess.
You should.
Get on it.
It's fantastic.
One way of doing it. All right, well, so what's my number 2? Shut up. See, and this is where it's the tough one for me. I'm going to have to make a decision on the fly. One's more a gore fest. Maybe we'll give it an honorable mention at the end.
Sure.
But let the right one in.
Oh, which one?
The Swedish version, of course.
Good job.
Yeah. As much as I love, was Chloe Grace
Yeah.
Moretz was in
Yeah.
the remake. As much as I love her, the original Swedish one was just a lot more. They crossed more lines than they couldn't do with American movies, and just like you were mentioning with Insidious, just the tone. It was such a quiet movie.
Yeah, it was.
That when something happened, it made it that much more jarring
Yeah.
when it happened, and just the idea of this. She's a little girl, but she's hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
And she's forever trapped as like a needy kind of preteen with this slave guy who's following her around and helping her feed. It wasn't a jump scary movie, but it was creepy.
Yeah, because it was it Swedish? But it's
yeah,
it's their
pretty
winter
Swedish.
time, so it's always peaceful and snowing and just like a one streetlight type atmosphere.
And she's always barefoot.
Yeah, and the snow somewhere is creeping everybody out. That's a good choice.
And I'll always remember that scene. I'm pretty sure it was in the original. I hope I'm not crossing it with the Western one. But when he like starts draining that guy's blood into the milk jugs to like take back
Yeah.
and feed her, just stuff like that, where it wasn't scary, but it was just like
Unsettling.
yeah, perfect word for it.
Very unsettling. Mine never. Speak of this. Oh, I'm just thinking about it right now. And
Little
I got the
Monsters.
No, it's not. I don't know. It's not really a movie. I think it's a movie, but It.
It's
Stephen King's It.
Who?
The original. I know it's getting remade next year, and I hope it's
Yeah.
as terrifying. But I still hate clowns to this day. It's ingrained in my head, that first scene where Georgie's
The boat.
in the
Down the
sewer
gutter.
drain, the clown pops up.
Yep.
He's like, "Hey, Georgie,
Yeah.
I've got like toys. And it's just
we
like
got toys
ugh.
and balloons." Yeah.
Duh.
And it scarred me when I was a child. I still, because I love being scared, I still watch it to this day.
Yeah.
Because I love being scared. I remember living in Calgary, and I used to have to walk home from the LRT stations down this big hill, and I used to work till like 11, and so I didn't start walking home till like 11:30. And those drains were on every street, and I still walked around. I would not walk on that sidewalk,
Yeah.
on that drain. Even the picture of that drain, I walked in the middle of the street. That's how much this movie terrified me.
And you know what's funny? Because it's a TV movie, right? That
Yeah.
was based on the
Yeah.
book. And it wasn't until, because I had seen it when I was younger, and same thing, it scared the living hell out of me. But it wasn't until you mentioned it like a few weeks ago that it was a TV movie that it clicked that it wasn't actually a feature film. I always
No.
thought it was one of those, like when there was Thinner, where there was all those
No,
other Stephen
yeah, it
King
wasn't.
movies, had a little stint there where they were all coming out. I thought it was in with that.
Yeah.
And then when I went back and looked after you said it was just like, but it was a TV movie? That was a
I
horrifying
know.
TV
Who
movie.
shows that on TV?
Right?
I still remember watching it for the first time, and the part where they're all gathered around the book, and they're watching
And the
Pennywise
pictures?
in the back. Yeah, and he's
picture comes
walking
alive?
around, and they're like, "What?" And then he sees them, and he runs towards the picture, and then
the
he
fangs
disappears,
comes
and he
out?
come. I just got goosebumps. That part will always get me, even when I watch it now.
That's
Yeah,
how
I've
you
seen it
know
so many
these are
times.
good ones. That stick
And
because you think about
since
them now.
that movie, Dr. Frankenfurter is still the most horrifying human being on the
Yeah.
face of the earth.
Yeah, Tim Curry.
He will forever be the most scariest person in the world.
Pretty sure he played the devil in Legend.
I don't know. Way to
Fact
nerd,
check
way
that
to
for
nerd
us.
it
I'm
up.
pretty sure.
Way to ruin the video.
Pretty sure he plays the devil in Legend. All right, let's do some number ones. Or should we do our favorite? Let's save number one for last. Let's do like our favorite like Halloween thing that we
Halloween
watch
special?
every year.
Okay.
Special or
Alright.
movie,
Okay.
whatever you want to call it. The traditional one that you watch.
So this one's relatively new, but I have not missed it since it's come out.
Oh,
and
I know
it's
what it
the
is.
Monsters vs. Aliens Halloween special.
Oh, no way. I thought for sure you were
Never
going to say
seen
Trick or Treat.
I love that one. I love it
just
because
watched it
like
the other day,
the
too.
pumpkins, they come to life.
The mutant
and then,
pumpkins from space.
Yeah, and they're spitting out green goo, and they're just blowing pumpkins up, and they're eating candy. Good time all around. Man, I love that
I thought you were
one.
going to say Trick or Treat.
No,
For sure.
no.
No.
If I had to go with mine, it's got to be every single time Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, see? That's another good one.
Yeah,
Like,
I
just-
just watched that one too.
One of like, it's funny, it's stupid, but it's like it has that Halloween feel where Halloween is supposed to be about like blood and guts and scaring people and stuff, but it's also really fun and it's all about being stupid and dressing up, and that movie embodies that, I think, in the best way.
Sarah Jessica Parker was a smoke show in that movie.
Until her face got like longer for some reason all of a sudden. Weird. What about you?
True. This took me a while because I watched Trick or Treat, I watched Monster Squad, I watch all those, and I'm thinking I'm like, I don't watch those every year though. I'm like, what do I watch every single year? And then it finally came to me, the most random thing. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. Yeah.
Every year, I do it every single year since I can remember, since I was a kid. And now my kid loves it too now because we watch it more than once now every Halloween because she loves it so much. But there's something about it. I love Peanuts.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown, those poor Charlie Brown, and they're all trick or treating. They're like, oh, I got a chocolate bar, I got a pack of gum, oh, I got a rock. And they go to the next one, it's like, I got bubble gum, I got an apple, I got another rock. And people were dinks
Charlie
to
Brown
Charlie Brown
was
back
bullied
then.
growing up.
He was.
Needless to
He's
say.
the epitome of being a bully. That stupid Lucy. Ugh.
Right? Always yanking the
Bully.
football away.
Always yanking the
possible
football
moment.
away.
Trust issues. That's how he grew
That is
up.
trust issues.
Shall we do the number one?
Oh, yeah.
And then I think we should do some honorable mentions at the end, just because I made a really long list.
I could have like 5. Oh, wait, but we will. Okay.
All right.
Well, okay, so for my list, I put not number one overall horror movie. It was just the number one Halloween movie that I watch, which is Trick or Treat.
It is Trick
It
or
is Trick or
Treat.
Treat.
Made it.
And I thought, oh, I could mention like another like horror movie, but no, like Trick or Treat needs to be talked about. This movie is so very awesome. For people who have not seen it,
Yeah.
it's again relatively not new, like
I think it's
early
7 or 8
2000s.
years old.
Yeah. So there's 4 or 5 mini stories that tie in all at once. I remember watching it the first time and I was like, this is so stupid. Like, it didn't make any sense. I was like, how did this get made? Why is it edited this way? And then you watch it again and you watch it again. And I was like, man, this is so awesome, because I still watch it and I still pick out little things where I'm like, oh my God, that ties in later down the movie, or vice versa later on.
The
in the movie.
original
I'm like,
shared
oh.
universe.
Yeah, almost. So like I said, it's tough to explain because there's 4 or 5 individual stories, but I mean at the end you get the little sack boy, and I don't like sack men. The little sack man, what's his name? Samine?
Sam Kane.
Sam, is it?
Yeah, it's Sam
Halloween
Kane, the
guy?
spirit of Halloween. Yeah.
He comes in as little sack boy. He's eating, suckers. He's making them into knives and he's stabbing people. I'm like, here we go. That's what I like. So
It just recently got like cult status.
Cult following, yeah.
Yeah, it's got like cult status of movies because it never came to theaters.
No.
Everybody's like, when is this movie coming out? It went straight to video, but so many people love it
Yeah.
that they're making another one.
Yeah, and I mean, they kind of went along the lines 2 years ago, Krampus. So they did one
Krampus,
for Christmas.
save it for the Christmas show.
So, but those are the types of like spoofy, it's a fun movie, but at the same time, it's still has its chills and gets
Yeah.
its your moments, right? So if you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. Check out Trick or Treat.
All right, well, my number one is a movie
Yeah,
that...
check your list.
I don't have to, because this movie is forever burned into my brain due to my crippling fear of exactly what this movie is based around: Dead Silence.
No way.
Yes.
The dolls.
The
Really?
ventriloquist
Really?
dummies and Jason Stackhouse battling for all eternity.
Jason
And if and if you scream, it like rips
Gets
your
ya.
tongue out and gets you and kills you. Like, are you effing kidding me? Like, that reminds me of what was it, Puppet Master?
I love Puppet Master.
Growing up and stuff like that, like puppets and everything along those lines. I remember my aunt has a little porcelain doll that sits in the corner of her dining room. I have to take that little bastard out of there every single time we're gonna eat. And that movie just the second they're on there and they're like the little pitter patter of the feet. Like no, even the Mr.
Little
Marble scene
childhood.
in Seinfeld with the ventriloquist dummy freaked me out.
See, it's funny that you say that because it didn't stick in my brain, but when you mentioned that, because I remember saying, like, we worked at Blockbuster, we always got free rentals, so I'm like, I'm gonna go watch this stupid movie. And I'm watching, I'm like, man, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I remember my wife was like, hey, can you go downstairs and change the laundry over? I'm like, nope. I cannot go because it is dark down there, and I just watched Dead Silence.
And I don't know if we own any puppets, but if we do, they're down there.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's my number. Not like not that it's like the greatest horror movie of all time or anything like that, but it's the movie that
Sticks
like
out.
still every time I see a puppet, it's just like Dead Silence.
Yeah.
It just pops into my head.
Mine is. It only came out a few years ago. Josh probably knows what it is. I've probably seen this movie 10 times, and it still scares me.
Yep.
And it's The Conjuring.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
well,
course.
yeah.
And I was gonna say The Conjuring. I was like, no, leave it for Kurt.
And
Kurt loves this
I
movie.
assume somebody else is going to
Oh,
mention
yeah,
it
for
because
sure.
that was another one of those movies where it was horrifying, but it was so bloody well made.
Yeah.
Like a horror movie that doesn't need to be like, ooh, there's a noise in the attic. I better go check it out. Hot girl takes her top off. Like it just doesn't need to be that type of horror. This was just good, well written and acted.
But
horror.
again, like James Wan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he actually.
You're just afraid of James Wan.
Yeah.
He actually spent some time with Lorraine Warren, and
Yep.
she was, these are our documented cases. So Ed and Lorraine Warren were a couple that were recognized by the Catholic Church. They weren't priests or anything, but he was one of 3 or 4 demonologists in the U.S. that were allowed to perform exorcisms outside of the church. So, like you said, Ralph Sarchi, he went and got his training from him. But James Wan, when he was writing this movie, or when he decided to do this movie, he got in contact with them. They discussed cases. Okay, so he had like the source material to go off of, and then you Hollywoodize it, you put your little spin
Okay,
on it.
hang on.
but
Shit, does that mean Annabelle was real?
The doll
The
is
doll
real.
is sitting
Good.
in her house.
Yeah.
Good.
So-
Good.
See, now Ed's dead now.
Yeah.
Lorraine still lives in their house, and where he in the movies puts all those trinkets. That's in
That's
their
an
house.
actual room.
In their house,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she gets priest comes every day and blesses it to this day.
Yeah.
Blesses that room.
So they just a room of like haunted and
Yeah.
cursed. And
You can go and see
horrifying.
it. Anybody can go
Yeah,
and see it. It's like a little
You can,
museum.
but why the
Tours.
hell would you
They do
want to?
tours,
Yeah.
and they we've like read interviews and stuff where people have gone through, and the tour guide or whoever it is, Lorraine or I think the daughter,
Yeah.
they actually tell the people going in, they're like, do not make eye contact with the doll Annabelle, like just don't even look at it.
The unscary part about Annabelle, it's about this big and it looks like a Raggedy Ann doll.
I don't know what that might be more.
But it's like little button eyes and like
Yeah.
cutesy ponytails. It's only this
Oh,
big, like all
so
those
they-
skinny little plush ones, you know? That's all it
Okay.
is. It's not some big marionette
No.
like they do in the movie.
Okay. Well, that's why it was more scary than Annabelle.
Well, exactly. That's not.
if it was a Raggedy Ann doll just flopping around, I would have probably just thrown at you.
No, yeah. I love The Conjuring. Fantastic movie.
And just, I like again that was like it was a great cast and just like really interesting story about like this kind of like it's a superhero movie without superheroes because they
Pretty
have
much.
this ability to go out and like expel demons and they're like a super crew. And yeah, I really like the movie. Again, a guy who doesn't like horror movies at all. I sat through The Conjuring terrified. I had a wet seat, but I enjoyed it.
Are we gonna do an honorable mention?
I plan on it. If you're
Oh, yeah, I want to hear yours.
Well,
that
I'll
what
do
made
mine.
the list?
I'll do one real quick.
we'll keep the
Okay,
roll
we'll keep
going.
it
going.
All right, you go.
So, honorable mention, and you guys are gonna laugh and scoff at first, but then I'll explain. The Paranormal Activity. Just
What's wrong?
number
The
one.
first
Number
one?
one.
That
Number
almost
one.
made my top 3.
Yeah,
There's
no.
nothing to scoff about that movie. That's brilliant.
Paranormal Activity number 1 came out at a time where they were doing these found footages, documents.
Yeah.
It came out with The Fourth Kind, an alien movie.
Yeah.
Ah,
And they were
of course.
both found footage movies. And so you don't know anything other than, okay, it's found footage. It could be based loosely off real, like true events.
Yeah.
So you go into the theater thinking based loosely off true events, and you're like, holy crap. This movie came out of nowhere, had the smallest budget, and absolutely dominated the box office to the point, and now we know how it did because you have 6 sequels.
Yeah.
But the first one will always be for me the scariest. That's one movie where I covered my eyes. Like I don't cover my eyes. Usually I'll pick a spot on the screen
Yeah,
where it's not
to
scary.
act tough.
To act tough, to make it look like, yeah, I'm watching, but I'm not watching. This one, I actually covered my face. It got me. And it's the whole... There's different kinds of horror. There's the gore, there's the monsters, and then there's the paranormal. The paranormal, for me, will always get me. That's the stuff that I'm just like... You don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
I've never been a
And
big scared of
especially
gore.
The way
guy.
they did it when the wife is standing at the bed for like 5 hours watching
Yeah,
her
just
sleep.
teetering back and forth.
I heard that when you covered your eyes, I got the spine chills from it. And then when she puts flour on the floor and it's like bird footprints.
Yeah.
And they're just like, it's a demon. I was just like, nope. The rest of them sucked after that, but that one was terrific.
They were all gradually downhill. I remember number 2 being like, okay, but I mean,
I
at
really
that
like
point,
number 3.
2, like the novelty had worn off. We knew it was just a movie.
Yeah.
But like I said, you get into the later ones, into the paranormal, into the hood, and all that stuff. You're like, just wrap it up, which they did.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm accidentally going to do a twofer. But just one I just want to give a throwaway mention. It's like a fun movie that could have been my Hocus Pocus. Death Becomes Her.
Oh, yes.
Love that movie. It's hilarious and it's so
Death
stupid.
Becomes Her.
But for a movie that made me laugh, made me cry, and made me almost want to throw up in my mouth, The ABCs of Death.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't find that scary.
I didn't find it scary, but I found it unsettling. To quote you, there's that first one, A is for Apocalypse. When the wife is stabs him, the knife is in the throat, then throws the bacon grease on him, and then beats him with the pan, and I'm just like, I think they killed an actor for this scene. And that's the first one. I'm just like, Jesus, I gotta sit through 23 more of these. I'm so upset.
Yeah, it's a definite odd idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ABC. It is. It's every letter has its own little short
And it's
story.
all
They're like
individual
3
directors.
minutes or 5 minutes long.
And they're all indie directors. They basically mailed them a letter. And then there's the stupid ones where I remember it was D was for duck. So these guys were like, we're actually gonna kill a duck in the movie. And then it was a comedic kind of slapstick, and they drop the gun, and they both wind up dying, and the duck walks away. Those were good, but I just thought it was a really interesting, different take of a movie.
Yeah.
Not horror, just gore.
Goror.
Horror?
Nailed it.
Man, I love this genre. I can name so
too.
many, but I still stick in the back of my head. I'm gonna go with something that terrified me again when I was a child. It was Nightmare on Elm Street. I was at a sleepover.
Yeah.
We're gonna stay up all night and watch horror movies, and everybody's like, yeah, and I'm the chicken yay.
Yeah.
This is before I was such a superstitious kid that if I saw it in a movie, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
Which I'm gonna bring up another one actually. So because we already talked about Nightmare on Elm Street, you've probably never heard of this movie. I think you have. Witchboard.
Oh, yeah.
I watched it again. My cousin's she was 4 years older than me, so I was about 5, 6, even 7. So they were 11, 12, in grade 6. Oh, we love horror movies, and I was like, I'm just trying to be brave and cool. And they're watching Witchboard. It's about a Ouija board. It's got Patch from Days of Our Lives. You probably don't even know who that is, do you?
My grandma used to watch her stories.
But I can still remember the ghost traps this girl. She had a shower with a sliding door.
Yeah.
Trapped her in there and cranked up the hot water, and she's getting all burned. She had to take the towel and break the glass to get out. I didn't shower. I am not even joking. For over a year, I refused to shower. I had a bath. Here's the stupid part: we had a curtain. That's how much that movie terrified me.
But I remember growing up and seeing a
The
scene
sundial,
where,
or not the sundial, the fence.
No. I remember the exact same thing, like a shower, something locking you in. They turn on the hot water, and you're melting, and you're trying to get out.
Yeah.
And for me, I had a sliding door growing up on the shower, and I was like,
I wouldn't have bathed.
There's something about being murdered in a shower that is just the most terrifying.
Yeah.
It's that in the bathroom mirror. I have one of those that close, and every time I have to clench my ass and shut it.
but you're not behind you.
Behind me.
Something pops up.
I can't believe no one said the Babadook.
It's
a
good.
newer movie.
I had to watch that movie in 27-minute intervals because it was so freaking tense for me.
And the bad part about me loving this stuff is not much scares me anymore.
Yeah.
The first Conjuring scared me, Paranormal Activity. The second Conjuring, I still loved it. It didn't scare me.
No, the second one was just kind of a better story and more action almost.
Yeah, but you know what I mean though? So I'm watching these, I'm waiting.
Batman's
Somebody's gonna come out with the next one where it's gonna be on my list, because it's gonna, if the next thing that scares me will probably make my list, because now I've seen so many horror movies that I'm
Yeah.
I'm desensitized.
So I'll watch one a year, and I'll watch that at like 2:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday.
Until
No,
the blinds are
I'm
open.
not a big wimp like you.
Oh yeah, go hop in your shower, Curtis.
Shut your mouth.
What do you think of your favorite Halloween movies or your favorite horror movies in general? Put your top 3 or top 5 or whatever the hell we
Yeah.
wound up doing in the comments below, and let us know. Also, find us on all forms of social media
At Real Reviews 00.
at Gent Show. And you can also on Facebook find you gentlemen as well. For
Same
your
one.
Real
Yeah,
reviews.
yeah.
And Gent Show is on there as well. And at On Air Darren and VO for me. So I guess that about does it for Halloween 2016.
Yeah, stay safe, kids.
Don't put shitty
Don't
things
have showers with sliding doors.
Don't have showers.
Yeah.
Stay out of the showers with Christian Bale.